Two neighbors, same continent, same language, nearly the same paycheck. But one keeps 47 cents of his next raise, the other keeps 63. It sounds fair on paper. In practice, it punishes the one thing everybody says they want, people working harder. Start with the headline numbers. America's top federal rate is 37%. Canada's is 33%. Lower. Canada wins, surely. Now look at where those rates begin. The American doesn't touch 37% until about $640,000. The Canadian hits 33 at roughly $258,000 Canadian dollars, which buy less. Then his province stacks on top. In Ontario, the combined top rate is about 53.5%. In Texas or Florida, the state takes nothing. Picture a toll booth on the road to doing well. America puts its booth at miles 600. Canada puts its booth at 250, then parks a second booth right behind it. Same road, same driver, very different trip. So what does a reasonable man do when the toll gets steep? He drives less. The surgeon works 4 days instead of 5. The engineer takes the offer in Austin. Nobody protests, they simply stop showing up, and the money the government was counting on never arrives. Understand what this is really about. It is not compassion against greed. There is no villain here. It is a question of who decides. At a low rate, you decide what your hour is worth. At a high rate, the state decides for you, in advance, whether it suits your life or not. A tax rate is not a number on a form. It is a price on your own effort. Raise the price of a thing and you get less of it. So, whole, Canada's top rate is lower, but it starts far sooner, and the provinces pile on. The successful Canadian hands over more than half of every extra dollar. The American in a no-tax state keeps nearly 2/3. Same work, same skill, and people drift toward wherever their effort is worth more. The tax code never asks whether you're worthy, it only tells you when to stop trying. The economy has not changed, you have. You're welcome. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. It means a lot.